Hello and welcome to Balanced Existence. This is day 3 of a 31-day series that I am recording in December 2025, but of course, this is a timeless message and series for you. So if you're here, I'm so happy you've joined us. We're going to start every reading as we do with an oracle card, an astrology card, and then we're going to dive right into the tarot. And like I said before, the purpose of this series is to recalibrate your energy and get you on track and aligned with your highest timeline. So whether you're part of the spiritual collective, whether you identify as a twin flame, this reading, I trust that if you found it, has some valuable insights for you. So allow yourself to take a deep breath, get comfortable, and let your intuition guide you to the messages that are resonating with you today. Okay, so we're starting off with the humor card and the Pisces card, which I love this combination. It's such a playful, lighthearted, inner child energy. And the humor card says, laugh at yourself, lighten your heart, let nothing steal your happiness. So with the humor card, there's also a cat on the card, so that may be valuable symbolism for somebody, but there's a sense of maybe even being mischievous, as well as being able to look at your past with a lighthearted way, being able to laugh at your mistakes, being able to appreciate life for all of its duality, the ups and the downs, and to just be able to have a happy and grateful and, humorous perspective when it comes to even the darker sides of life. Not to take on that heaviness or that burden or internalize it, and just remembering to breathe through life. So it's really all about releasing that intensity, especially for those of you in a twin flame connection. There can be so much heaviness that is stored in your body, in your mind, and the humor card reminds us to consider where we can lighten up and where we can allow joy back in. And then with the Pisces card, this is the sign of dreams, intuition, imagination, deep emotional sensitivity. So Pisces is all about emotional depth, compassion, that includes self-compassion, spiritual clarity. So Pisces is all about getting clear on what our dreams are and what emotions are associated with them. And so when we combine the humor card with the Pisces card, this is about holding your dreams in your heart in a lighthearted way, holding your emotions with softness, allowing this beautiful combination of joy, humor, and emotional intuition to guide you towards clarity. So I'm going to read this passage about Pisces from the card. The intuitive energy of water flows and flows and flows through the changeableness of the mutable quality. There is creativity and psychic insights available, probably hidden in plain sight. The key phrase, I believe, means that you do believe that the answers are out there and that you, by paying attention as only you can, will find them. In this situation, ask, how can I tap into the compassionate heart of the universe? Listen and see with your heart. Pisces energy is very aware of the unseen currents in the world, including the emotions of others. This can be overwhelming. Employ simple energetic protection techniques and avoid destructive escapism. So, with these two cards starting us off, let's channel into the tarot. We have the Three of Cups. Oh, I love this. It's such a beautiful combination with the humor and Pisces card. And we have the Sun. Wow. So with the Three of Cups, this is all about celebration, friendship, connection, emotional support. This card is pure joy, so it's very aligned with the humor card. So for many of you, this is going to be about reconnecting with your sense of joy, reconnecting with that sense of humor that ability to view life from a lens of happiness and joy and celebration and gratitude. And this includes rebuilding your social circle for those of you who may have felt very isolated on your path recently, and really leaning into that sense of community. And to do this requires you to reconnect with the people who you feel aligned with, the people who remind you who you are. And when we talk about the Pisces card and feeling really sensitive to the emotions of others and, being easily overwhelmed in certain scenarios, this Three of Cups and the Pisces card is talking about really getting to know who is in your tribe, who is your soul group that you feel aligned with, and who remind you who you are and support you in that. And another interpretation of this card is feeling like you're getting a growing sense of emotional support, whether it's from your inner circle or whether it's from your angels, your guides. The Three of Cups speaks to feeling that emotional support or that divine support and allowing that to bring you joy. So the theme here, especially with Pisces and Three of Cups together, is about allowing your heart to express itself, allowing yourself to feel and protect your emotions, allowing connection to soften your existence. This is all about emotional playfulness and just a simple reminder that you are allowed to enjoy yourself. And with the sun coming in, we have just even more of that, with pure happiness, joy, warmth, vitality, as well as clarity, truth on your path forward. So the sun is bringing you this gentle, joyful way of being. This is a reminder that your joy is not lost. You are rediscovering it. So you may be having a return of this light to your soul, a shift towards joy. Your inner child may be awakening. Between the humor and the sun card, both of these talk a lot about that inner child and tuning back into their desires and their essence. And this could also be a influx of clarity about what truly matters for you. So allow joy and your inner child to be your spiritual tool and provide you direction towards the happiness, the healing that you need. Allow this playfulness to open your intuition and be the way that you obtain clarity. And so we also have the Nine of Cups coming out. Wow, this came up in yesterday's reading as well. This is about emotional alignment, emotional fulfillment. This is inner fulfillment, inner satisfaction. This is about, and we've talked about this a lot on the channel, reaching that internal state of feeling good, because that is really the key to getting our manifestations. And it's so much easier said than done. But the Nine of Cups is about really entering this timeline where you show up every day and it becomes more and more effortless and natural for you to show up in your highest embodiment of self. The embodiment that is in full alignment with your soul, the embodiment that is positive and fulfilled. So the Nine of Cups is talking about our manifestations and having confidence on our path and this inner knowingness that our emotions are the key to driving these manifestations and obtaining the reality we desire. It all starts from the inside. It goes from the inside out. And so this knowingness that your emotions are a powerful co-creator in reaching our dreams. So moving on, let's pull a few more cards. We have the Devil and the Lovers. Wow, very interesting. So we definitely have this combination of shadows and the choices that are required to be made to overcome those shadows. So the Devil talks about our unhealthy patterns, habits, attachments, temptations, fear, and especially with Pisces, this talks about escapism, illusions, those Neptune-ruled concepts, and the things that we are unable to see or address clearly due to blind spots or blockages within. And with the Lovers, this comes down to our choices. And of course, it's about our love and deep soul connections. And in order to align with those emotional and spiritual connections, a choice must be made. And those choices should be led from the heart. And so with the Lovers, there is this duality of processing and working through and balancing our inner divine feminine with our inner divine masculine, and balancing our subconscious with our conscious in order to make those aligned choices. And so the Lover card can also represent your external connections, twin flame or not, and your desire for union and harmony with your divine counterpart. But also it's your need for inner harmony and your need to awaken and activate and align your own heart so that you can make choices that are rooted in love over fear. And then in combination with the Humor and Pisces card, we are being reminded to allow our intuition to guide us with clarity rather than being caught up in fantasies or illusions. And this is also about having that lighthearted energy so that you can open yourself to the shadows that you may have been ignoring, and to allow humor to kind of humble you so that you're able to show up knowing that you don't know everything, but you're open to learning and discovering new parts of you, including shadow sides that you'd never been able to recognize before. So again, with the Devil, just trying to keep an open heart and an open mind to seeing things clearly, seeing your habits clearly. And as we are evolving on this spiritual journey, we are really able to fine-tune our energy and get more knowledgeable in a more detailed way about aspects of ourselves, including our shadow sides and including our unhealthy habits. So this isn't a measure of how far you've come or how well you've done on your journey. Spirit is reminding you that you are exactly where you need to be, and you've done amazing work and progress, and you are ready for this next step of uncovering a layer deeper of shadows. So this can be where you may be attached to certain outcomes, or allowing your ego to grip onto love or a certain person or a certain outcome too tightly. And this can also be about suffering due to the illusions that we allow ourselves to live through. When we give away our power and, we become trapped in our shadows, and then we allow fear to influence our decisions. And, this card isn't meant to scare you, of course. It's just meant to show us the very real ways in which we can spiral at times. But this card is showing up because you are ready to release these old ways. You are ready to make that choice symbolized by the Lovers as to what is going to be rooted in love, what is going to be the healthiest option for you. Because when you say yes to your highest timeline, it requires you to say no to those aspects of your old timeline that you must release and let go of. So let's pull a couple more cards here. We have the Three of Swords and the Seven of Swords. Yeah, this is, and I think that this is really fitting that we did start off this reading with the Humor and the Pisces card, because again, as we're interpreting these cards, there is a overarching energy of lightheartedness and emotional depth and awareness. So when we get the Three of Swords, which is about heartbreak and emotional pain and disappointment, and even old wounds resurfacing, especially with the Devil, if we're being called to dive deep and face our inner shadows and release what needs to be released, old things can be coming up, and it can be a heavy energy to work through. And with the sensitivity of Pisces, Spirit is reminding you to have this humor, have this lightheartedness, and remember that your inner child is never lost. She or he is always within you, and ready to guide you and, speak to you. So open your heart to that clarity, because you are never lost. You are never without this sense of happiness and joy and playfulness. So with the Three of Swords, you are ready to see what is causing you pain and what is causing you hurt, and what of that is rooted in illusions, what of that is rooted in unhealthy habits or patterns. And it's okay to just acknowledge it without internalizing it and drowning in it. You don't have to relive the pain. You simply need to allow it and open yourself to releasing it in divine timing, because this is not a process we can rush. And with the Seven of Swords, we also have this overcoming of deception, avoidance, ways that we may be hiding from the truth. Again, that illusion that we talk about with the devil and Pisces, or even withholding our feelings. And this card is all about the internal state. So where have you been avoiding your feelings? Where have you allowed illusions to cloud your vision? This is where you're not going to protect your heart or your emotions by hiding or suppressing them, but where internal honesty is necessary to move forward. So again, it may seem like this kind of heavy or dark energies to process, and there very well may be times of that. But this is about approaching this with a energy of joy and respect for your inner child, unconditional, unwavering love for your inner child, and that humor and playfulness that allows us to come out of these painful times with a inspired and motivated and positive outlook. Because our perception, again, with the Nine of Cups, the Sun, the Three of Cups, we started off this reading with such this beautiful, emotionally driven energy. This is a reminder that that is always available to you. So as part of living this balanced existence, we want to allow these darker energies. We want to acknowledge and recognize them. And then we also want to release what needs to be released, again, in the right timing. But as we balance this duality of the heavier energies with the lighter energies, let's not forget to have this dedication to our inner child, to our soul's alignment. And let's prioritize joy and truth and healing and clarity, which is going to bring us emotional fulfillment. So let's pull an oracle card from Nature's Whispers. I'm feeling drawn to this one to close this reading today. Let me know if anything resonated or inspired you as part of this reading. We have Clear Out the Old and numerology 5. This is number 5 in the deck. So just a quick note on number 5. This is all about cutting away. It's so fitting. It's about cutting away what doesn't serve you. The number 5 is all about change and a new beginning and taking action and initiative to what needs to be done, and having that strength and passion and power and inspiration to restore balance. So this is so fitting, because this is all about releasing what needs to be released, what patterns and habits are no longer serving you. And this includes your perspective, your outlook on life, and in what ways it can be kind of cleansed and reframed in a more lighthearted, joyful, humorous way. So I'm going to read this passage here for Clear Out the Old. Whatever you are experiencing now is a creation that you have brought into existence from past thoughts and feelings. While in this moment it may have you caught up, you can let go and begin to dream of a new reality. Let go of the aspects of this creation that no longer serve you or have a purpose. Release what has gone wrong in the past. Release also any material possessions that do not serve the new dream you now want to create. Know that where you are now, you can create anew and begin again. Wow, that is such a beautiful and fitting closure to this reading. So again, as we open ourselves to clearing out the old, remembering to do so with the support of the Sun card, the Three of Cups, the Nine of Cups, we have such beautiful energy supporting us. And remembering to do so with a lighthearted, joyful energy that serves our inner child and that is able to laugh at ourselves and view our past sufferings and darker sides and mistakes and failures in a way that we can think, well, that's life, that happens sometimes, and all we can do is process it and move on and find our way back to joy. So I hope that this reading resonated for you. Thank you so much for joining, and I will see you back tomorrow for day 4. Bye.